Hey everybody, it's going to be April 7th, so make sure you take out a brand new sheet of paper. Title it is 4-7. Remember, the most important thing that you can do is to stay organized, is write the date on all of your stuff. Anything else, honestly, doesn't matter. Start a brand new sheet of paper every single day. You'll be able to stay organized. You'll be able to turn things in via Google Forms. Please make sure you learn how to attach pictures though. I'll need to see pictures of your stuff that I state. So we had a little issue on our last Friday. A lot of people turned in, but they didn't actually give me the picture, and I can't give you credit or participation without it. So please, again, work on organization, and if you need help submitting something, maybe you could Google it. See, a Google Classroom. But you could Google, how do I submit a picture or attach a picture? Hopefully you can find a YouTube video or two that will help you with it. If you can't find that, reach out to me and I'll try my best to help you as well. All right, you guys, today we're gonna do 4 problems and you'll have 4 homework problems. Let's get to it. Number 1, we're gonna have 7e to the x minus 4 power times 2e to the 5x plus 3. Well, you guys, e is the natural number, it's 2.72, but whenever you're doing the math, you get to treat it like any other variable. So what we want to do is we want to go back to our Algebra 1 bag of tricks and think about, what do we do to the pieces in a multiply problem? Well, the coefficients, or the large numbers, we actually multiply. Then we wrote down our variable, and again, e is not really a variable, but we can treat it like one. And then we have to know, what should we do with exponents in a multiply problem? In a multiply problem, we should add the exponents. So if you take the exponent of x minus 4 and add it to 5x plus 3, we'll combine like terms. The x and the 5x will make 6x. The negative 4 and positive 3 make negative 1. So we have 14e raised to a power of 6x minus 1. And there's nothing else we can do with that problem. But what we saw was sometimes we can do a little bit more after we use our exponent rules. And here would be a problem like that. Number 2, 10e squared divided by 2e to the 8th. So we think back to our Algebra 1 exponent rules on division. Well, if we know what to do in a division problem, we look at our coefficients first and we actually divide those. Now, I start with a fraction bar, but if there's nothing on the bottom, I'll just kind of use it as my box. But I do 10 divided by 2 is just 5. And we don't really have to worry about a denominator. It's 5 over 1. Now the next thing I'd realize is, well, where do I put the letter e at? Well, I use the larger exponent. So I put e in the denominator. And what do I do with the exponents in a division problem? I minus them. So 8 minus 2 is 6. That is what we call an exact answer. It's exact because I did not use my calculator. I didn't round a decimal. But you guys should know how to use your E button in your calculator. So you guys, if you type this in your calculator, 2.72, you shouldn't use that. You should do the actual E button. So it's 5 divided by e to a power of 6. And my calculator gave me 0.012 is my rounded answer. So you guys, if your E answer has a variable, we obviously can't type it in the calculator. But if your E answer does not have a variable, you should be able to also give me a rounded answer. All right, you guys will have some homework problems like that. And please remember, you can rewatch these videos. So if it doesn't make sense the first time, watch it again, or watch the video while you're doing your homework problems. And pause it when you need. Next, we're going to solve 2 different types of log equations. So number 3, we have log base 4 of x plus 2 times log base 4 of 5 is equal to log base 4 of 150. Well, if you guys remember about log equations, we have to know our properties very well. There are 3 properties you need to know. You need to know your power property, your product property, and your quotient property. You're going to see 2 of them in this example right here. First thing is, we cannot leave this 2 in front of the log. We can bring it inside as a power. So this is actually the power property. So now I have log base 4 of x. There's a plus sign. And it's log base 4 of 5 to a power of 2, or 5 squared is 25, is equal to log base 4 of 150. So right there was the power property. Now the other property is we want to get a single log on the left side. So what do we do when there's a plus sign in between two logarithms? Well, we can condense it to a single logarithm as long as we know what to do with those arguments. And we multiply them. This is called the product property. So it's log base 4 of 25 times x. Again, the order that you multiply things doesn't matter, so I put the number in front of the letter. Equals log base 4 of 150. Now, what we can do at this point, you guys, is remember, if you have a log on the left side and a log on the right side that match up with their bases, we can cancel them out and only look at the arguments equals the argument. Divide both sides by 25, and you get x equals 6. Now in a log equation, you should check your answer. Does it make sense? And remember that the argument has to be a positive number. Well, when we plug 6 in there, everything is good, so it's a valid solution. All right, you guys, last example of the day. Number 4. You guys are going to have 3 is equal to log of 200x plus 160 minus log of x. Well, the first thing you might notice is there's no base. Well, there is a base, and we'll talk about that here in a little bit. But you can kind of just work on this and realize, well, this isn't a log, but we do want to condense that using the properties. So what property would we use if there is a minus sign in between two logs? To make it a single log is the quotient property. So I have 3 is equal to a single log now, as long as I know what to do with those arguments, and I divide them. Now we do need to know what the invisible base is. If you go back and you look, if you write out the word log, the invisible base is 10. So you can actually put it in your problem to help out. Because I did a little melody in class, if you remember. But you guys, how do we solve a log problem when it's not on both sides? When it's on both sides, we can cross them off pretty easy. But when we have a log on one side and not the other, we have to convert it. And I used to say, when you get a log on one side, not the other, move the base, convert. The base of 10 has to come over and it becomes the base of an exponent problem. So I have 10 raised to a power of 3 is equal to, the log now goes away, 200x plus 160 divided by x. Honestly, at this point, there's no more algebra 2. It's all algebra 1 material. 10 cubed, 10 times 10 times 10 is 1,000. Equals 200x plus 160 over x. Now, we don't want this x in the denominator, so I'll multiply by x and cross them off, and I'll multiply by x. So now I have 1,000x is equal to 200x plus 160. I'll minus 200x on both sides. That is 800x is equal to 160. I'll divide both sides by 800. And you should get 1 over 5, or 0.2 is your answer. Now, when you plug 1/5 into there, it gives you a positive argument total. When you plug in 1/5 there, it's a positive argument, so it's a valid solution. Hope today went kind of good for you guys. Again, it might not click on the first time. You might have to review some of your notes. You might have to re-watch these videos. But if you need anything, reach out. Here is your homework for today. Your homework for 4-7 is, number 1, 48 e to the 7x all over 16 e to the 2x. Number 2, we have e squared times 3e. Number 3, you're going to solve this log equation. Log base 7 of x minus log base 7 of 5 is equal to 4 times log base 7 of 3. I think you can still see that. It should still be in the video. Otherwise, listen to what I said and write it down. And then number 4, you're going to have the natural log. So that's ln of 4 plus the natural log. That's ln of x plus 10 is equal to 2. Now, natural log is another one where you don't see the base. So you guys, if you want to go back or look it up online what natural log is, it does have a base. It's just invisible. So this is log base something of 4 plus log base something of x plus 10 equals 2. But if you really think about the name with the word natural in there, it might give a little hint on what the base is in order for you to solve it. All right, you guys, good luck with everything. Again, keep your social distancing, and I'll hopefully see you guys on May 1st. If you have any questions, reach out to me through email, Google Hangouts, or Classroom. All right, it's your boy, Mr. P. Have a great day.